Welcome to a great episode of High School Hoops Talk with the Talking Heads. I'm your boy Talley with my main man.
Hey, this is Mike Daniel Jr. Glad to be here supporting Super Sports Media.
Well, this is it, bro. This Wednesday will be our official first show, but I wanted to recap this weekend from all the great basketball games that were played this Friday to Saturday. UIL officially started actually playing games. It's all non-district games. And and again, hey man, I just want to recap and just talk about some things that we saw or we kind of was right about and some things we were wrong about and then highlight a few players. You ready to get into it?
I'm with it.
All right, let's bring up Thursday. Excuse me. Bring up Friday. Friday is the day it all started. It all started. And then let me give a shout out to Coach Bell. I apologize. I foobarred. Reading is fundamental, and I did not read that time of a 5:30 start. So I was supposed to cover the Clemens and Sotomayor game, and I didn't cover it. That game didn't get covered by us. I wish it did. I wish it did, but we didn't make it because I got there at 7 o'clock as the game was ending, and they were pretty much taking care of business beating up or beating Soto. Pull up the score real quick, and I was really sad because it looked like they had a really good game going there, and so I happened to miss that one.
I
But
bet you walked in there clean too. I
listen,
bet you walked in there clean too.
Mike,
You probably had on either some royal blue or some yellow Kobe's too,
I had the
if I
yellow
know if I
Kobe's
know you well.
on. I had the yellow Kobe's on in support of Coach Bell, and I'm just strolling
Oh
in there so
man,
smooth, bro. I look at the thing, I'm like Clemens. They wound up winning 79 to 47. Uh,
this guy,
yeah, and
this guy.
again, I missed every bit of it. I missed every bit of it. When you want to talk about disappointed, I was so disappointed I missed it. Um, but we were able to get the scores of the game as far as who were hot and who wasn't. So let me report that real quick. But when I walked in there, they were taking care of business. They were making sure. Now, what I got back from some intel, all of the football guys are not back from Soto yet, so they're missing some size, and they'll get
Okay,
that size back here. They'll get that size back here because they had the crazy part was they were playing a football game that same night, so that was tough for them. But they get back that size, and shout out to Kai Woods and DeAndre Duncan. Um, Jakai had 22 and Duncan had 17. So, and real quick, what I want to talk about is the Duncan young man, the kid, DeAndre. Great job on his behalf because he waited patiently and he listened to his coach. And that's the kind of stuff right there I love to see to where as though when kids get it, they figure it out, like, okay, I'm really talented at basketball and I'm gonna lock in, and he locked in, and to see what he's doing and what he can do, it's gonna be fun watching him all season. So to see him accumulate 17 points, that mean Coach Bell really leaned on him a little bit. I was worried about that team because of size. They lost one of their key athletes this year to football, as far as he got a football injury. So with him going down, we're talking about Dupree, and with him going down, it kind of made everybody worry, and that's why I didn't put them in the top 10 as far as the list. And they were one of the teams that was an honorable mention type thing because hey, they don't have the size. I didn't think they could compete well. But no, man. So beating Soto, that's a big win. Beating the North Side ISD school, it's a big win. What you got?
great start. I mean, we talked about taking care of business night in and night out. Uh, there are a lot of good teams that on any given night can knock off anybody's head. And so you got to approach every game as if it's your last and approach every game with importance and with priority. and just take care of business. Plain and simple. Not
Well,
hard.
the reason I like both Woods and Deion and Duncan both making or showing that they were the hot man during that game because both of them are you're talking about a 27 and a 28, and then they also have Bryson Bell. He's another great basketball player. That those three guys next year are going to be something else. So the little noise they're making right now will be really really good for them. And then they got Larry Hoover. He's a junior also. So they got Trey Burton on the roster. I know he's coming back from football. They got quite a roster. So they're going to lose Quentin Proctor this year and Jaden Arsenal and what's my man name? One more kid that just transferred over. He's not on their roster yet, but he just transferred. But they're going to lose those two. So I'll just talk about what's on their roster. They're going to lose those two guys this year. And of course, like I said, Christian's hurt. But losing those two, that school's in good hands. We're talking about Clemens is in good hands.
No
Uh,
doubt.
they have and then that underclassmen. I'm talking those freshmen. Oh man, that class is yeah. They're gonna be nice. They're gonna be nice. And I forgot about Gabriel Fuller. He's really finding himself as a player, and he's really just again. I'm glad he's coming around and understanding what his role is. Because again, these kids don't really know once they find out their role or what they need to do, and he's really buying in and doing a good job. So it's gonna be fun, man. They're gonna have a real good year this year, and the next year is gonna be even better, I believe.
He's got a crop coming through that his next 3 to 4 years,
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be he's gonna be in great position, man. Really is.
Yeah.
No doubt.
So the game I did go watch this will watch was O'Connor and Brandeis. O'Connor surprised me. O'Connor
Why?
surprised me. Well, they surprised me because of how well they looked. Coach, I think Coach was playing with a few things and testing a few things out. Because Brandeis is a Northside ISD school. Really, it was two
Yeah,
Northside
but
ISD schools playing.
it's a North Side school that we haven't talked about and not gonna talk about and haven't been talking about because of what we know. I mean, it's not we're not being disrespectful. It's just, I mean, if you don't got it, you don't got it. It's just like we haven't talked about Holmes, we haven't talked
Right.
about Tech, talked about Stevens. It's nothing against Coach Gardner. He's dealing with he's dealing the hand. He's dealing what he's got in that game. It's it's a great win for one reason and one reason only. For me, you took care of a game you're supposed to take care of. You handled it convincingly, which you're supposed to. Right now, if they struggle in that game, and you, that's when that worry really comes. But you took care of what you're supposed to take care of. It's good to see that. But the thing about that, they took care of that, and then do you know what they did the next day, Miss Taylor?
Well, yes, but again, so I looked at that game for them against Round Rock. They got 11 seniors, man. That team has 11 seniors. Round Rock has 11 seniors. So, and again, we don't have no real good reports on the Austin guys. So I don't know what Round Rock was bringing back. But I know they brought back 11 seniors. And usually
But
teams
here's
like
here's
that bring back 11 seniors.
here's where I worry. Okay, we talked about O'Connor last week on the top 10. You thought you might have gotten it wrong. I disagree with you. It's opinions. Where I worry with O'Connor, there's a young man on O'Connor, senior, right, that showed out against Brandeis, right, on Friday night. Ethan Belayu at 21 and 6. Okay. They go to Round Rock and he has 4 points and 4 rebounds. That's concerning for me. That's a big time game. You have to show up. They had 28 points, O'Connor did. Okay. Now, Hagen Hurst on Friday night against Brandeis, he had 16 and 11. He goes around Rock, he has 14 and 9. There's gotta be a level of consistency. You might get your butt whooped, right? But you can't go ghost. You can't go from 21 to 4. That's too drastic of a drop off. That's a senior. Since we're talking about seniors, that's senior leadership right there. You can't have that kind of drop off in a big time game like that. It's unacceptable. And that's where
Well,
when
well,
we
hold
talked
on.
about
Time
O'Connor,
out. Time out. Time
that was
out.
my biggest worry.
But hold on. We didn't see the game. So from what I was told, insider the sports news here, that team scouted them really well. They scouted them really well. They knew it was like they knew every play. And then what they did, they pressured the backcourt. So they didn't see Brandeis didn't pressure the backcourt when they played. Brandeis let them bring the ball up the court and just let them get to spots. And that's why Ethan was able to have the game he had because there was a mismatch. And we talked about that. There was a mismatch. So they had to pick. They had to pick. Go ahead. What you got?
I hear you,
I see the hand
but I'm
up.
not
Go ahead.
hearing
What you
you.
got?
Here's the reason why I'm not going to hear you. After Friday night, you called me lit, called me crunk. Yo, man, maybe I didn't get it wrong. Man, Ethan, man, they could do Ethan. And so, again, I don't care about a scouting report. You can't go from 21 to 4, Mr. Talley. There's got to be a level of consistency. There's got to be a balance. 21 to 4 from your first, second leading scorer, your senior, your leadership. Can't have that kind of drop off in a monster game like that, Mr. Talley. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
Scout report
just
or not. Ethan's not new to basketball. It's the big time club dude from the Toros. You got to
again.
show up. Those
We
are
didn't
games you
see
got to
it.
show up.
I know you listen. Looking at the stat sheet. You're absolutely right. You gotta. Those games are games you're supposed to dominate. And you're supposed to win. You're supposed to. But
I ain't saying
my
they was gonna
thing
win. I was
about
about
it is I didn't
31.
see what.
I was about 31. I ain't saying they gonna win.
Well, no,
Show
no,
up.
no, no. All I'm saying, I didn't see what Round Rock has. So I didn't see how the matchups went down to where so I saw what Brandeis gave them, and it was like we both talked about it. That you had to pick your poison. Am I going to guard Hagen Hurst or am I going to guard Ethan Bluey? So to me, maybe Round Rock had two bigs. We don't know. So now the test is Tuesday, the 18th. They play Johnson. They play Johnson. So let's see who shows up for
Kicks
that
and
game.
giggles.
Unfortunately,
Kicks and
we're
giggles.
gonna have coverage on that game.
Who you got?
On that game, man, that's a tough one.
Who you got? I'm gonna tell you who I'm going with just because.
You know what? You know what? You know what? And you know me, I don't care if I'm right, wrong, or indifferent. It doesn't matter to me none. But I'm gonna go with my hot hand. I'm gonna go with my hot hand. I'm publicly saying it. O'Connor. I like Johnson though. I think Johnson has a group has a group that's really ready. What I interviewed one of them, Tim Springer Jr. Um, great kid. He's one of the kids that's on our is just going to be on our San Antonio basketball players who to watch for, and he's one of them. But I like O'Connor a little bit better. I like the fact that they give
Okay.
2-6, a 6-6, and a 6-7. I like that. I like that over. I like that over what Johnson has to offer. And me and Coach Liver, we hey listen. I love what he's doing. I love how he made his run last year. I think that was perfect. Winning district last year and the roundabout way he did it was outstanding. But I'm going with O'Connor though. I'm going O'Connor.
So
I'm
first
going with
thing, before
size.
we move forward, I had a note that I want to acknowledge. Shout out to Coach Kia Griffin, right? That was his first head coaching varsity game and against Brandeis. And what made that win special, he got his first win as a coach, but he did it against the coach he played for, Coach Gardner. So shout out Coach Griffin for that one there. Now, you say you're going with O'Connor, right?
And that's why
I'm gonna
when that's
I'm,
why
I'm
that's why I led with real quick. Back to your administrative note. That's why I went and said O'Connor played another North Side ISD school, even though they're not in the same district. They're in the same district, but they're not. You know, because what is like two district schools that's in the north side that doesn't play. That's Clark and Brandeis, if I'm correct. So again, shout out to definitely to the Brandeis guys and again, doing what they doing. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you go before I talk about this Connor Garcia young man. Go ahead.
So since you went O'Connor, and even though I'm an O'Connor guy officially now with my son being there as a freshman, and of course my big fella Hagan, uh, I'm gonna go Johnson just to have it. And I'm going Johnson one reason and one reason only. What's my phrase that pays?
Oh, guard play. Guard play. Guard play rules the
Guard play
world.
rules the world. And right now, right here, right now, Johnson's guard play,
Okay.
and not just the guard play. Everybody thinks
Okay.
when we talk about guard play, they think offense. Guard play comes from the defensive presence as well. The pressure that's getting ready to be applied, I have concerns, but it's good to see it early in the season, and it'll tell us, okay, where they're going to be at. So it's going to be a great game to see for sure. I'll be in the building with you.
It is. It is. No, no, I will not. I will not. I am not covering that game. I got my ins. I got yeah. I won't be there. Chad's covering that
Okay.
game. He's actually doing footage on that game, so he'll
Okay. Well,
have footage on that game. And
I'll
and
be
I
there and
do
have some
like the
notes.
guard play. I do like the Tim Springer Jr. and I do like Ian Joshua. I like that backcourt. They also have another guard there that's got a chance to see when he was younger. Brody Pleak. I like him. I like what he does.
Shooting machine.
Again, if you leave him open, he's gonna shoot the piss out of it. I
Shooting
mean,
machine.
yes, he gonna take the leather off that joint. It's gonna start with Wilson. It's going to end with just the whatever's hey whatever's under that, whatever layer is under that man. He gonna shoot that joker off. So I like that. I like Mark Anthony with his size. Again, he has to pick his poison. He's going to guard Ethan or he's going to guard Hagen. And then now, a player I've been wanting to see play two, this matchup is Xander Grayling. Had a chance to coach him when he was younger. Good player, and I just want to see what happens. That's going to be a good matchup. Those guys right there.
I personally think, and this is just couch potato, Xander's going to be on Hagen and Mark's going to be on Ethan. And the reason being, the type of game that Mark plays, you don't want to put Mark in a position to get in foul trouble dealing with Hagen down low. Hagen's a load, and he's coming at your neck. And so I don't know if I'd put Mark in that position to get two quick early fouls to where he's got to go to the bench. Because I'm gonna tell you what, Johnson gonna have to have that young man on the basketball court in that game. He's got to be on the court.
I wish I got a chance to see the Round Rock game. Now that you said what you said about it, as far as Ethan only having 4 points, because listen, again,
No offensive rebounds that game, bro.
well, hold on,
I know we
again,
didn't see it. I know.
hold on. Only reason I say that, Ethan was guarding a smaller guy and he was getting in that dude's shorts. I think he know what size, whoever he was guarding against Brandeis, he know what size he wears. Because he was in the short, he was, and he's long, and he's making it hard. That's why, again, that was a, that for me, that was a good game. I know, Brandeis doesn't have the kids that's the 5 star and all that, but again, they still play the game. They got to win. Um,
It's kind of
and
like
O'Connor,
TMI when TMI plays sacks, right? You're supposed to beat the brakes off of sacks. They got
correct.
half the team's freshmen.
Don't they?
You're
Hey,
supposed
listen,
to
I got
you're
some phone
supposed to beat
calls
the
about
brakes
the
off.
videos I
You're
made,
supposed
so
to beat the
chill
brakes
out.
off of that.
Yeah,
So for me, it's good to see you took care of that game, but I want to see what you're gonna do when the real lights come on, when another dude is on the other side of you. You know what I'm saying? That's like if Marcus
yeah.
Balboa Senior, right,
Well, look.
is going against my son, the freshman. You're supposed to own that. You're supposed to
Well,
put your
look.
chest out a little bit more.
This
You know what I'm
week,
saying? But now, what are you
this
gonna do when
Tuesday,
you see Ed Joshua
tomorrow.
with it? Right?
Well, again, tomorrow we're gonna see it. tomorrow, like I said, they got two bigs. They got Mark Anthony and they got Xander Grayling. So you're gonna be able to report how that game went down, how was it played, was it what we thought it was, and again we have some footage of it. And I just want to give a shout out to Connor Garcia. He was the hot man for Brandeis. Hey man, he was trying to be a PTPer. Listen, that dude. Hey, shout out to that young man. I want everybody to know that's one guy to watch on if you go to Brunch Brandeis. I believe he's number
Hey,
11, and he did his thing.
hey, he got a clip on both hips too.
Yes, yes, he's a senior. He plays the right way, man. He tries to score if he has to. He'll set the table for you. He made good passes. Again, now it was tough for me to watch my guy, who plays with me over the summer. Carmen Gonzalez had bad shooting night. The good part was I heard that he was one of the leading scorers the next night when they played the next day, but he had a bad shooting night. Um, he had only 6 points, and I think he got two from he got a three, and then I think he got a free throw and a layup. So with that being
Well,
said, it was hard for him to watch him shoot. He just couldn't get the ball in the hole, man. I know that feeling. I've seen it happen before, and it's just hey, I would tell Carmen one thing and to remember, if his three's not falling, hey man, adjust yourself. Adjust yourself. Go make a layup. Go see the basketball go in the hole. Change the game. Don't just keep shooting threes. Hey man, change it up a little bit. Steph Curry, when he's not making shots, he knows what to do. He goes add an extra assist there and go do a quick layup. Go get a 15-foot jump shot. Change your game, man. Don't just keep shooting them bad shots.
uh,
And
you
last but not
know,
least, Jamie Yak Jr. He's a senior. He did real well. Also had 12 points in that game. You got any more else on this O'Connor Brandeis
just one last thing.
that you want to comment on?
Shout out to my big fella. He started the first two games very consistent, 16 and
Mm-hmm.
11.
Mm-hmm.
Then Wayne got 14 and 9. And he's doing it efficiently, right? 11 attempts, 6 of 11, in route and round rock, and so for me, I'm thinking in my head, and this is just goofy. Let's see, 6 of 11. If we get him half of those more touches, that's about, what, six more attempts. If he makes three more of those attempts, I don't know, get that man the ball. Keep doing what you do, young fella. Keep showing them who you are. Stay consistent. Stay consistent. If the man is shooting 55, 60% and he's doing it with 8 to 10 touches, maybe get that man 15 to 20 touches and see what he can do
Mm-hmm.
with it, especially if he's playing that efficient. With the assist and the pass ratio, and then guard got to knock shots down. Just my just my little old
Yeah.
brown scent.
Hey man. Hey, listen, I let them coaches coach, and I just want to sit on the sideline and just keep doing what I'm doing. So I ain't gonna give nobody no advice. So that's good. That's good
We
stuff,
ain't giving
though.
advice. We're media.
Hey,
We're
you ain't
allowed to
get me in
talk.
trouble.
We want.
You just said
Hey,
that's my two cents. That's what you you just said that. You just
we know
said
how this
that.
relationship goes. You're politically correct, and I'm me.
Hey man, I appreciate the coaches allowing me in the gym. So I gotta be. You know what I'm saying? Now, the game that surprised me, I guess, from Friday. It was two. It was two, and I want to give a shout out to our number 16, and that's Harlan. Harlan went up to on Friday. Harlan went up to Houston, and they played in the RCS Open Classic, and they did their thing, man. Harlan. All I'm gonna say is one name, man. Well, two names. It's a name, but it's two words, and that's London Jackson. Hey, I don't know how he did on Friday. I didn't see him on Friday. But I saw him
He's
on
a
Saturday.
freshman.
But they went up to Houston. Yeah, 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 yeah. Real quick, they went up to Houston on Friday and beat Bel Air. Um, I didn't. I get a little upset sometimes when teams do or people do this right here. They say, They say, well, especially when we come from out the city and play, right? They say, well, hey, that team's rebuilding. Hey, man, but still, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear who's rebuilding. I don't want to hear, well, that team's young. No, I don't want. I don't want. I don't. I can't. You took the game. You took that game, and you were, you were them dudes. So you can't sit there and tell me, well, hey, uh, we don't have all the dudes we had last year, and then do what you do, and then make it like, well, that's what it was because last year, that's the team that beat Brennan, and then turned around and lost to Duncanville State. So that team was a really good team because again, they beat Brennan last year. So don't tell me, well, hey man, we rebuilding from last year. No, no, no. You took the game. You know what game it was. You know what it was. So shout out to Coach Hall and his staff, Coach T, and going up there and doing their thing. So they did a really good job. I don't have any stats on the game. They didn't put them, but Harlan knocked off Bel Air. So good job, good job, good job, Harlan. That's the game that surprised me. That really caught my attention. Any games catch your attention from Friday that you want to mention real quick? Because I only want to really, we can talk about all of them, but I wasn't there, so I don't like to, you know, I can talk about the score.
Well, all I want to talk about is you mentioned the name and you spoke on London Jackson. So I want to make sure in not just London Jackson, true freshman, not reclass London Jackson. Load, problem, man child, man amongst boys. Remember that name.
Yeah, yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
That's all I got.
Okay, so that'll wrap up Friday. If you want to check any scores or what's going on, I would definitely suggest you get on Max Prep and you go to the basketball section, the boys basketball section, and follow their scores. They have a score section. Just follow hit scores, and then they'll ask you of what, and then you do the San Antonio area. And anytime any San Antonio teams play, wherever they don't, it doesn't matter where they play at, they'll have it listed. So let's talk about Saturday. Saturday, I actually took my butt all the way to Houston, man, to watch those Wagner Thunderbirds and the Harlan Hawks. Well, we're gonna start with the Harlan Hawks, and we're gonna mention that name one more time because you know what? I'm disrespectful, and here's why I'm disrespectful because I did not mention London name when we talked about Harlan on the show last week. Remember? I didn't mention London's name.
Can I top you? Can we can
Go
we can we
ahead.
play can
Go
we play
ahead.
good
Hey,
like me?
listen, I told you, man. I'm in the business of being
Hey,
wrong, so I'm good with it.
hey, listen. I got you beat by 18 miles. I got you beat by the Boston Marathon. Dog, I thought this boy was gone. Like between his dad and his mom, I thought this dude was gone. I didn't even know he was still here. So when I looked up, I forgot what the hell I was watching. And I'm like, wait a minute, he's here? Because had I known that when we talked about Harlan last week, bro, I would have been all over that. Let's get certified, certified and ready, instant impact. You know what I'm saying? And now that I know he's there, we were talking about that dude's a problem. He's a problem. Gonna be a problem. So shame on me for not,
Uh, the
I
one,
own I didn't do my homework early, but
no, no, man. Listen,
uh, man, we
no,
gonna get there.
man. I'm not gonna let you take any blame or any of that. I appreciate you standing up and trying to take the blame, but no, man, hey, man, it happens, bro. That's what I'm trying. That's what I was trying to tell somebody. Someone's asking about a kid. They said, not, and you're right. We should know the kids, but sometimes, man, kids slip by, and so they were asking about something. So he's one of the ones that I knew about him. I interviewed him. He's going to be one of the kids on the show on the pod, but I didn't realize of how much impact he was going to make because again you got quite a few seniors on that team, and so with that being said, hey, and the great part about him watching him play, he don't ask for all
Humility.
the shots. He just
Mrs.
hey man he
Talley.
just chilled he just go
So
ahead.
so Mrs. Talley. So I know this kid very well. He killed my 29's for the last 4 years, so I'm very familiar with the young man. Watching him in middle, the most impressive part about London Jackson? Humility. If you were to watch him at his middle school games, watch him during his club games, he's like an old soul. He just hoops, man. And he does everything. 6'5", left-handed, evolved his game, shooting the midi, shooting the three ball, strong as hell. When I tell you impactful, listen to what I tell you. Impactful. Bad young fella right there. Big fan, always been a fan. And I hope he continues to stay humble. I hope he continues to evolve his game and stay in the gym. Special young fella right there. Heard it first from me. As if everybody don't already know, but
Yeah,
I'm here to tell you, special
yeah.
young fella.
23, excuse me, 23 points on the night. He dropped 10 in the, no, it was 11. It was 11. He dropped 11 in the fourth quarter by himself. He outscored Cinco Ranch 10, or excuse me, 11 to 7. 11 to 7 by himself. And it wasn't, listen, real quick. Let me preface this properly. He didn't try to take all the shots. I got all of his points on video. He was not the first one taking the shots, okay? So it wasn't like he was like, "Oh, I need to take over and try to win this game." No, 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 that wasn't him. It was one of the ones alley oop from Francis to him, and it was, I think that was the seal of the deal. Like, hey, we, like my man do, it's over, it's over, it was over, it was over, it was over. Um, Again, just he rebounds. He does it all, man. Like you talked about already, he does it all. I did not keep count of how many rebounds he had, but the young man did it all, and he played the right way. And he played. It was really, it was good to see us in that game because that game went back and forth. Cinco kind of controlled pace the whole game, the whole three quarters. So to see Harlan come back and tie the game up, hey, go for it. What you got?
I I know the young man, I believe is with Houston Hoops, or I forget who he's with now, but I want to give a shout out to Jamelo Ward, who that kiddo started with, evolved with, turned into the basketball player that he is over there with Texas Grind. I know he's evolved and with an outside entity now, but shout out to Jamelo Ward. When we're talking about developing players, we can't forget things like this. So humongous shout out to Jamelo because that's where that boy grew up under that Texas Grind brand and Jamelo Ward.
Okay. That's what's up. And he does it. Well, Melo does a great job. I tell people that, man. He does a really good job on that side of town. Um, and the crazy part about him, he does his best to try to make sure he keeps all the kids from that on that side of town. Like he doesn't. I don't. At least I don't see him. I'm sure he probably does have a few kids from this side because he had Will Franklin at one time and Aiden. So having both of those guys over here, but just to see what he does and the work he puts in, nah, he's doing it. Again, he had his hands on that, and that's good to hear. That's good to see. Um, so again, like I was saying, the game was controlled by Cinco for the first. They had a young man on there, and I put it in my article. I did. They had a young man on there. I can't. Last name is Bynum, number 5. Last name is Bynum. Holy moly! Hey, listen, it was funny. He looked at me, and as he played, I think he had 14 or 16 points. I can't remember which one. As You ever watch a player who knows they're the best player or one of the better players on the court, but try their hardest to get their teammates involved, and their teammates just couldn't close the deal? Not because they played bad or something like that. Go ahead.
Amari Guerra at Holmes.
Okay. Yes. Okay. That was good. That was good. That was good. Good example. And so watching him play, like he went off. Wow, he was killing. And then he saw they were doubling him and making sure made it hard for him. He was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna do pass it off to this guy, pass it off that guy. And they just wasn't closing the deal. So it was kind of like, oh man. And now I will say at the end, he took some good threes. Well, you know what? They weren't that good because he missed them. But he took some threes to where those like, man, they go. Well, no, I'm just saying they were good shots, but they didn't go in. So I can't say it was a good shot, right? You know, they looked good. It just, hey man, because hey, listen, he did this step back. The audience was trying to say it was a travel, but it really wasn't. He just step back, man. He jerked. Oh my goodness, it was. Hey, that
I
young
gotta
man.
agree. I gotta agree to disagree with you. I've
What's
seen a
up?
phenomenal shot not go in, but I'll take that phenomenal shot every time. And I've seen terrible
Well,
shots go in that I would never want you taking that shot again. So just because he missed him, I can't go with you on it was a bad shot. I'm
well,
gonna
no, I
laugh,
didn't
but
say it was bad.
I'm
I
not
just
gonna go.
said it wasn't a good. So I said it was a good shot. I said, but it just didn't go in. So I said, I can't call it a good shot because it didn't go in. Is what I'm saying. But I didn't call it a bad shot either because, hey man,
I,
he he. Listen, every spot on the floor he wanted to get to, that dude was getting to. He was a good basketball player. Like I'm gonna definitely be watching for him. Like as you know, I don't go to Houston a lot or anything like that, but I'm gonna watch the team. You know, I'm gonna watch him as much as I can. He's hey, listen, you know, again, they got their own writers out there. You know, Jim Hicks, my mentor, so they got him out there already talking about the kid. But hey, man, I'm trying to tell you, that dude did his thing. And he's a senior this year, so it's gonna be interesting to kind of just see where he goes. And I just wanted to kind of give him a little shout out as far as, hey man, he did his thing. He did his thing. The young man is good. He's good. If I'm correct, it's let me make sure I'm definitely being quoted properly. But man, it was bad to to watch him fall, but at the same time, it was good at the same time because hey, we won. You know, to see Harlan go to Houston and go 2-0, bro. Yeah, his name is Dylan Jones Bynum. He has a hyphenated name, Jones Bynum. No, he's a junior. Excuse me, he's a 27. Hey man, keep eyes on that kid. Listen for that name, Dylan Jones Bynum. Listen out for that name. That dude, they don't have him listed. They don't have him listed his height and weight, but he's probably about just under 6 foot, if not 6 foot. Got long arms. Got a basketball build. Definitely got to put some weight up, of course. But again, he's a hooper. That kid's a hooper, man. That kid's a hooper. Uh, Anything else you want to say about the Harlan Hawks with their great start of 2-0, and they did it outside the city. So guess what? Unlike last year, we can't question. Do they move? Do they change? Remember that came up last year. Remember? Do we change them? Do we move them? Well, they lost in Houston. They lost in Dallas. Not this year. They taking care of business like they're supposed to. And yes, I'm glad I put them at number 6. Yes, I am, Coach Hall. Hey, listen, you my guy and all, but hey, you doing your thing. You got one of the tougher schedules. You right. You absolutely right. But hey, you doing what you're supposed to be doing. You doing what you're supposed to be doing.
he's getting him ready. He's getting him ready for the end of February, March.
Yeah. No, December. They start district in December, bro.
You didn't hear what I
They start
said.
district in December. They run.
I
No, they
said he's
make I
getting
know I
them
heard you
ready
said about
for
March.
the end of February and March.
Again, you still gotta go through district first, bro. Don't put that horse before that cart yet.
I'm not, but
I mean, don't put the
what's
cart
the
before the
end goal?
horse. I messed that
The
up.
end goal, the end goal isn't district. The end goal is the playoff run.
Oh,
So that's where I went with it. No disrespect to none of the district schools, but the end goal is the playoff run.
yeah. Well, you know, him winning the way he's winning will allow him to play those tougher games and get his guys ready also too. To whereas though when district's going on, he don't have to lean on all those bigger guys also. See, so to me, I think again, I love what he's doing. Last year he went to the state tournament. So hey man, who am I to say? You know, we sent 4 teams last year and he was one of the 4. So hey, and that was a great matchup for him and Clemens in St. Mary's University. That game was there. So no, it's all working like it's supposed to, man. So next game we went to and we saw while we were there was the Fort Bend Marshall versus our Wagner Thunderbirds. Hey man, I'm a fan of Trey Clark. I like how Trey plays. I like how he's trying to he had 21 points and he's not afraid to try to get he makes sure he's going to get to that line. He's going to get to the line. Now he got to do a little bit better with his with his free throw shooting because again, you know, the ball bounces in. If he can shoot 80 in the upwards of 80 to 90% in his free throws, hey bro, that young man, hey, that score is a different score because they also had a tough one. And as far as you know, scoring the ball, as far as at the end, and that's where they kind of, I'm not gonna say they ran out of gas or anything, but that's where they kind of it they didn't score enough in that second half. Fort Bend scored because going to the fourth quarter, they were down by two. Wagner was, and then you know Fort Bend had a young man, Jaden Jones. He went to work, scored 9 points in the fourth quarter. Went to work. That's the difference. His 9 points in the fourth quarter versus our 6 points is not enough, man. It's not enough. That's not enough. That's not enough. And and Trey had the ball in his hand at times. And again, the bad part is he went 1 for 4 at the line in the fourth quarter. That's what I'm saying. He shoots in the upwards of 90%. So he works on those free throws. And guess what? That whole game changes. I do, even though they didn't win, I do believe Coach Clark had his team ready to play. Because going into the fourth quarter, we're only down two to Fort Bend, and from what I understood about Fort Bend, they tend to have good kids and a good program. So it's not like the bottom of the barrel as far as those playing them. They were playing a really good team from Houston. So to see that now, like I told you, uh, it was good to see we Lance didn't play yet. Lance is still on the IR. So when Coach Clark gets his whole team healthy, also the other big fella didn't play either. Well, he played a little bit. He played a little bit. He played a little bit of the third and the fourth. But to see those guys not fully be ready, it's kind of like, oh man, what would have happened? What if, you know? So once he gets his roster 100%, uh, guard play did well, Mike. I know you love. Okay, go for it. What you got?
How Damian do?
Say it again.
How Damian do?
Damien. Uh, I'm not gonna say he struggled, but he didn't score enough. He didn't go to his bag enough. You know, he scored five, and he did make. You know, he was trying to assist and get everybody involved. That he was doing. But it has to be a point that he has to understand. I don't know. Again, I don't know the coaching scheme, so I don't know that he just got to just put him on his back and say, okay, hey, I'm gonna get the next 6 points. You know what I mean? I don't know if coach is allowing that or he's not allowing that, but you know, hey, you know, uh, big fella can't score 21 and then you score five. You know, you gotta somewhere else, somewhere, and that's why I think when you have a healthy Crenshaw and you have a healthy Lance Johnson, that changes everything. Is that point guard what he is? Like again, he think about it. Damian had a great summer, man. He had a really good summer this year. And then he got some young talent under him that's going to really be the next, you know, next dude. So and it just, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I did miss some of the start of the fourth quarter. Um, I didn't watch some of the start of the fourth quarter, but when I came back, um, they were already down six. They just couldn't get over that hump. You know what I mean? And it wasn't like one player was killing them or anything. At least I didn't think so. Uh, sorry, I didn't think so, but it was just one of those like, hey man, he just didn't get to them. he just didn't help, he didn't score enough. You know what I mean? So, so with all that being said, it was one of those events or one of those track meets that, hey man, Trey Clark did a really good job, 21 points, but the other track guys didn't run with him. So, but first quarter he did everything he was supposed to do as a guard. He was facilitating. He was getting the touches he was supposed to get. He got them. So I did like watching the fact that Coach did let what's his name? Let me see here because he did Coach went to his bench. Like, he played quite a few guards. I do like the Tyler Jackson. I like him and I like Lionel. Those two guys are up next, and they got some burn. They got some burn. Um, Tyler scored 5, I believe. Yeah, Tyler scored 5, and Lionel didn't score at all. And that kind of production, Lionel again. That's the kind of stuff that we need. Big fella can't score all the points, but defensively, and they're tough. They're tough to play defensively, man. Those guys are all over you, and it just made it hard. So think about it. You playing 3 quarters and going into the uh going into the fourth quarter, it's 31-31 or 31-32, 33, excuse me. So, and they know the saying, first to 50, who you got? You know what I'm saying? And then they start fouling at the end. That's why the score got a little looked like it was worse than what it was because they start fouling and trying to, yeah, it was 47-37, 37-47. So they start fouling at the end. So it was like, eh. But other than that though, two good games to watch in Houston. We went 1-1 on the weekend. That doesn't change anything for either one of those guys. But again, both of those teams look ready for the season here. Um, I think we have not O'Connor, I'm silly, but we have Harlan playing. I think they're off. They're off until was it Friday, I believe? Let me pull that up real quick. Do you know off the top of your head? Did you check that out?
I do not. I walked away
Okay.
from my computer.
All right, let me. I had it too. I was looking at it just a minute ago. Oh, here we go. All right. Yeah, Harlan doesn't play again until the 22nd. They play if I'm correct, they actually going to Dallas. They're going to Dallas to play the Memorial Warriors up in Dallas. So good luck to those guys. That's going to be a really good battle for them. That'll show. And that's on the 22nd. So I think that's Saturday if I'm correct. So he
That
got
is
them on
Saturday.
a Saturday. It is okay. So that's Saturday. So yeah. So he got them on a tour of Texas, you could say, because they actually slept up. They actually went up Thursday night to be ready to play Friday. So he did a tour of Texas. He's doing like a tour of Texas, and then um, they play that. Now we will get the good part is we will get to see them in the South Sand tour a tournament, and the South Sand tournament, which is going to be a really really good tournament this year because some teams that decided to play are playing that we normally don't see in there. In their first game, they're playing Memorial. I think it's from Houston. Memorial from Houston. I think that's their first game on Thursday at 6:30. 6:30. Their first game on Thursday, 6:30. And they're playing at a middle school, if I'm correct. Yeah, they're playing at ZAM. So, and then for Wagner, number 5 team, they are playing at. Let's look here. Where's Wagner? Let's look at Wagner. Wagner tends to get them a pretty tough schedule too. He plays on the 21st. They play against the Rough Riders, the Roosevelt Rough Riders. So that should be a pretty good game for them. Um, I'm looking forward to seeing what the Rough Riders look like. Because Coach Lee, does a decent job with his guys. So they have a freshman over there that I want to see how he does. He actually is on the roster here. Chaos Atkins. Used to play with us. So I want to see what they have. They also have their senior guard, Marcus Robinson. So I saw him play last year. I really liked him as far as the way he plays. So let's just see if he can keep everybody locked in and he can be that leader that me and him talked about him trying to be. So that's going to be interesting to see that game. And that game is going to be the 21st. So that's what if I'm correct, that's a Friday game, if I'm correct. If my math is, nope, nope, nope. Yeah, 21st.
That is a Friday game, the 21st.
Yep. So that's a Friday game. So yeah. Any other games stand out for you on Saturday that you want to mention?
Saturday, no, but I know that who did I just tell you? Uh, TMI and the Bronx this week. That's number two versus number eight.
That's an
And
upcoming
we got a
matchup.
top 10. Yeah, we got a
Yeah.
top 10 matchup this week.
Well, real quick on Saturday, other than two games I watched, the game that really stood out on me on Saturday, other than the ones I watched, was what was it at? Mm, I guess even though even though they lost, I would say and Antonian only losing by two to Allen. That's a pretty that's impressive game in the way, that because if I'm correct, Antonian went to I think Allen came down here, if I'm right. No, it was yeah,
Yep,
it was a neutral conference game. Okay. Yeah.
yep, yep.
So if and say it again.
I ain't saying anything.
So Antonian's 4-1 on the year. Okay. Yeah, they're 4-1 on the year. So again, that's the game that you want to kind of circle a little bit and see, hey, what we looking at, and not bad, not bad.
TMI got out of town
The
this
other
past
game
weekend.
that kind of caught my eye, Tim, I did get out of town. They went up to Dallas. They played Old Faith Family. Man, hey, I tell you this, Coach Williams is showing he don't mind playing smoke. So yes, he don't have the strongest district teams because there's only like three teams that really, so it'll be four this. Well, yes, I think it's three this year. So he went up there and played Faith Family, and then they played a school, I believe it's in Austin, I think, or coming this way. Let me see. Where's the school? Yes, matter of fact, the school I think is in Austin. So on their way home, they came down. They played Legion Preparatory Academy. No, that's in Dallas also. So yeah, they did a Dallas tour. They did the Dallas tour. So they also were on the tour of Texas also. So they was up there taking care of business. So they didn't take care of it, but they still played well. It was the Quinn Knight Invitational. The
I
Quinn Knight
mean,
Invitational.
they lost two games, but they lost one game by four, one game by six. So, two games out of town by a total of 10 points at the beginning of the season. Good stuff.
That it is.
Good
You're
stuff.
absolutely right. You're right. You're right. Now the question is, I don't know if this is the type of team that they'll see again. Where though, I don't know how taps work as far as bracket wise, and because I don't know if that's something they'll see this team again. Is my question I'm trying to say because the Legion Preparatory Academy they don't have their full schedule in here. They just have they play all the way to the 28th of February, and that's it. That's their last game at Grand Prep. So I don't know. I don't know. So and then they showed that they played Crawley and lost to Crawley by one. So and the crazy part was it was a winnable game for TMI. So they get back at it. And since you mentioned TMI they back at it and they are now let's talk about that game. They are playing New Braunfels right now on the 20th. On the 20th. And that's a win. That's a Thursday game, right? Yeah, that's a Thursday game. That's a Thursday game. So uh that's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be one to see if that's gonna be one of the ones to see how that pans out, right?
Absolutely, you definitely want to see that one because that's a talking piece for us. You know, you like them type of matchups.
Yeah, you do. You do. And the fact that the fact that they're coming off of two tough losses, that's gonna allow them to so yeah, that game is from the Alamo City Hoops Classic. It's going to be held at Steel, the 20th and to the 22nd. Yeah, the 20th to the 22nd, and that's their first game. And the crazy part about that game, if they win that game and Judson takes care of their business, they have a potential to match up and play each other. So there'll be two games that they're playing two of our top 10 teams. And I don't have the
And
have it in front
I
of me right
mean,
now.
they both win theirs. That's not that goes beyond top 10. That's top three. They meet Judson. That's 2v3
Yes,
right there, bro. That's that's huge.
that is. Hey,
That will move some
that
furniture.
is. But that's what we want to see.
It is.
But that's
It's
what
my
we want to see.
CTE,
We want to
baby.
see those. Those are the matchups we want to see. We want to be like, hey man, we want to talk about it and we want to, act like we know everything. So I'm looking at the bracket right now. So the New Braunfels beats, yeah, and then down there, the winner of Smithson Valley and Straight Jesuit, and then Johnson and St. Mike's. That's gonna be so that matchup right there could potentially have a TMI and St. Mike's matchup on Friday at 4:30. So that's the part of it all that we all enjoy. And then up in the top bracket, you have to take care of their business because they gonna see some smoke. They got Frisco Heritage playing Stony Point, and then you got Cy Falls versus Corpus Christi Vets. Mm, mm. You got some matchups here, buddy. Yeah, yeah. That's why I told everybody that tournament right there that Antonio throws is one of the better tournaments during the school year. It's one of the better tournaments during the school year. So that's gonna be great. That's gonna be great to see. So when you talk about that, you talk about the number of kids that's going to be actually in the building. I don't know what the other schools have, but I can talk about our guys. So you got, the four guys I told you. Of course, they got five or six over there in Tony, but I'm the four guys that I'm really following. Uh, that's Williams, that's Hill, that's Flemings, and that's Crocker. Those four guys, man, you get to see them play and the way they play, all those guys, I didn't see their numbers as far as I don't have the stat sheets, and Max Prep didn't report it. But all four of those guys were double doubles. Excuse me, yeah, with double digit guys. Excuse me, not double doubles. I apologize. They were double digit guys. So so to see that matchup is going to be really really good. And then you're talking about Carson Cox coming from New Braunfels, and then his cast, his team he has. Um, they're gonna have an opportunity to put their name out there, who they are. So hey, you didn't mention hey, you're right, I didn't mention you because I do know Carson Cox and he signed, if I'm correct, didn't he sign with Air Force, the Academy?
Yes, that is accurate. He is air. Yes, accurate. Gonna great fit, do great things. That's it. That man's a
Okay.
dude.
Yeah, he is. He is. So, and he got a running mate that I didn't see at the last, or I don't think I've seen his name in the books, but yeah, they're gonna have a good one. And then all the kids from Judson that they have, he got five, and I'm not gonna leave him. I leave off Frank this time. I'm gonna start with Frank. They'll give Frank an opportunity to where it's, oh, hey man. Well, Frank and them, I didn't get to see them. They played St. Mike's. I'm not St. Mike's, excuse me, but they played Westlake this past weekend on Saturday. So that was a tough game for them. They lost by 18. But again, I didn't see it, so I don't want to really report on it. I just saw the box scores. But seeing them here next weekend, or excuse me, this weekend is going to be really, really fun. The 20th to the 22nd. Um, so this week alone, we're gonna have some really good basketball. If you guys can get out and follow some of it, that's awesome because again, man, this is I got a new saying now. If you got any kids that want to go to college and play next level basketball, this your first tryout right here. Ninth grade basketball is your next tryout. Make your high school team, make sure you do everything right, and get ready. Get ready.
Facts on
Get ready.
facts.
Because the grind starts now. I'm talking about getting up early and making sure those workouts matter. Putting it all in play. Putting it all in play. And then what you got? Got anything before we sign off?
Good luck to all the teams, man. It's season's here, man. Good luck to everybody. Wishing everybody a healthy season, and don't forget the recovery part of it.
All right. Well, my sign off is this. I did not get to see. I wasn't part of a lot of kids who when they played. I didn't get to see a lot of kids play, but this one gentleman I did get to see play by the name of Kingston Flemings. Hey man, watched him play yesterday. Alabama, excuse me, Auburn versus Houston. I believe that was the number one and number man, I think it was number four. Do you know what ranked Auburn is, Mike, right now, prior to this weekend?
Mm, can't answer that one, Bo. Sorry.
Let me look it up real quick. Cause hey, I want to get my stuff right, man. I want to make sure I'm saying it right, dog. But hey, dog, my guy, watching that young man. So right now the rankings have Purdue number one, Houston number two. Something must have happened. That's weird. But last week Houston was number one. But anyway, oh, by points. Auburn was or is man, they knocked them down. Oh, they knocked Auburn all the way down to 22, bro. But that matchup, that was a good matchup. That was a great matchup. But my point I was trying to make is if you haven't seen that young man play, man, please watch when Houston plays. Hey, man, watch that young man play. Watch him play. Got a chance to see him since third grade and just develop, and he's always been that way. So, hey, man, he putting on. He's putting on. So check him out. Again, you're witnessing something special right there. You really are. So check that young man out. Watch him play. And again, he's a freshman. He's a freshman. Had 22 yesterday. Uh, the even more part about it all to really know that young man special is when I watch the other guys in the city are just giving this kid his flowers. And that's why I always say, as much as we can, let's give these young people, men and women, their flowers while they're here with us. So that when they move off to go where they're going, they know they're going to be supported. They know they're going to be supported. I'm not saying don't jump on when they already there, but man, that's why I said last year. I think we didn't do the best job supporting him and making sure we gave that young man and what the Brennan Bears were doing enough flowers. Because again, He putting on now. I tell you that. He's putting on now, Mike. He putting on. You hear me?
Been putting on.
Again, I'm yeah.
All he doing now is silencing all the haters that didn't think he was gonna do what he did in high school, didn't think he was gonna go where he went, didn't think he was gonna play, didn't think he was gonna start, didn't think he was gonna be impact. Shut up! That's what I gotta say. And applaud. Get on the bandwagon. It's not too late. City needs the support and love anyway. That's all I got.
Hey
Phenomenal
man.
young
Well, hey,
man.
look, I appreciate you taking this time out your day.
Yeah, yeah.
We back in the gym tonight. Going down to Northside Gym. They got Stevens. Who's Stevens playing? Stevens is playing some. Oh God, dog it. I'm drawing a blank, man. I'm getting old. I know, man. I'm getting old, dog. I be having these things on the tip of my tongue, and I'd be like, okay, okay. And then we start talking and having a good time, and you telling people, shut up. You're on the bandwagon now.
I mean, it is what it is.
We
The
got
hatred, the
5:30.
hatred, the hatred, the hatred, the
5:30.
hatred,
Stevens and
the hatred toward a
Churchill.
kid, the hatred toward a kid makes you want to slap a grown man. Like, you mad? What you mad about, dog? That's just how I feel.
Okay. Well, we got Churchill and Stevens. Churchill's 0-1. Stevens is 1-0 at Northside Gym at 5:30. And then we're gonna stay and we're gonna catch the 7 o'clock game. I believe it's a 7 o'clock game right after that. Yes, it is. It's a 7 o'clock game between Bernie Champions and the Warren Warriors. So I get to see why Warren is 0-1 and see can they bounce back. So there we go. There we go. We have it.
I mean, do you know
Thanks
who
again,
Warren
Mike.
lost to? Do you know who Warren lost to? I do. Do you?
I'm going to find out. Well, well, again, no. Off the top of my head, no, I don't.
Corpus
Why don't you
Christi
share,
Vets.
my guy? Corpus
DC
Christi.
Vets.
Hey, hey, but you know what?
Even even without Billy, that
Coach,
team is still loaded.
um, that was a close game though. 74-71. So
Lots of
again,
buckets happening. Lots of buckets,
can't
lots of
really
track
say
meet,
what
lots of running.
happened. You know, coach, everybody forget Coach White's a great coach, is a good coach, bro.
Well,
You know,
what's funny for
I
me,
know he didn't win it all last year. Huh?
everybody thought because Billy left that they wasn't still
Say
going to
what?
be. Everybody thought because Billy left, his son reclassed up and signed, and everybody thought that, oh my God, there goes Vets. No, Vets was still loaded. Are they going to miss him? Duh, right? But Vets still have a crew.
Yeah,
Still gonna be a force. They're still gonna be a force to be reckoned with.
yeah, yeah,
Let's
yeah,
just hope.
yeah.
Let's just hope that
Well,
there aren't many
that's
more. Let's hope that there aren't many more personnel changes or situations happening. And they can finish out, do what they do.
right, 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 right. Well, like I said, Coach White does a great job. He does what he's supposed to do with his group, and he has them playing the way he needs to have them play. So, um, that's the thing behind it all. Great teams find ways to stay and keep themselves there and everybody. That's why I hope the teams that were there last year are the same teams this year. You know what I'm saying?
Great
And we got
season
a
on
few
deck,
doing
fellas.
it place what we do. We got the Steels doing what Steels. There you go. We got Steel. We got Judson still taking care of business. We have we got Harlan taking care
Hey,
of business. Wagner taking care of business. We got Alamo Heights still.
did you know that Jay Garland is injured? Did you know that?
Yeah, I did. I did. I did.
I
I
found
did.
out. I was
But
talking about Steel this
I try not to
weekend.
discuss that kind of stuff.
Well, we were talking about
Yeah,
Steel
I
and
try
the
not to discuss that
dynamics of
stuff.
their.
Yeah, no. Yeah. They still remember Rice leave, Garland comes in. So we haven't seen him play yet, and it's going to be a minute before we do. But when I saw him play for summer league, they still look good. They still look good. Like you said, Coach Hub. Again, you can say what you want to. People can say what they want to say about Coach Hub. He finds a way. So I'm gonna say, like him, love him, hate him, whatever you want to call it. Coach Hub finds a way. Again, no, seriously. This is what I ask everybody. Take his name off of the resume. Take his name off of it. Look at his wins, losses, and his state appearances and all that go along with it. And tell me that's not a good season coach. Been to state twice. Been to the state tournament twice. So some cats haven't even made the playoffs, but that's it. First, second round playoffs. State tournament. That's
Hey,
why UIL
by some
wise, the
people,
last UIL wise, the last team to go to state and win was the Cole Cougars with No We Can't Too. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna drop the mic on that. All right, bro.
I
Thanks again.